My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slay the Spire. It's time to go with the Ironclad. Regardless of whether or not we had one at the end of the last run, I've ground just a tad in order to make sure that I had a blessing going into this run from Neo, the whale. Remove a card from my deck, receive a random common, relic, or lose all gold and obtain a rare card. So that would allow me to choose between one of 3 different rare cards. Legendary, rare, the yellow ones. Removing a card from my deck, make my deck more consistent so that the things that I pick up matter more and get drawn more often. But relics are ridiculous. Yep, bronze scales. Whenever you take damage, deal 2 damage back. That is ridiculous. So question marks tend to be the best places, and then there's question marks leading to an elite and a merchant. That's a perfect line. That is a excellent line. The opening here that you really want is Bash Strike, but can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might just find that you get what you need. I can just take this hit next, so I can just go Bash Strike here, because I'll heal 6 up thanks to Burning Blood at the end of the round anyway. At the end of the fight. So now, as long as I draw 2 strikes, I kill. Yep. Boom. Thanks to the vulnerability we put on with Bash. Ooh. Okay. What build do I want? Do I want a strength build? Do I want a block build? Do I want a wounds build? I'm gonna go with the block build because I have the bronze scales already. So a build where I get a bunch of metallicizers and things like that, that could be interesting. Just gave up some HP for some gold. Remove a card from my deck for 50 gold. Yeah. I'm gonna remove a strike. Gonna make my attack less consistent, but I guess I'm trying to rely more on my block. Yeah, I figure that might happen. I'll lose the maximum HP here, because I don't want to take a curse, and also I can get maximum HP as a couple different ways with this character. Feed is the most obvious one. Pen Nib, beautiful, just another relic to pick up. Yeah. This is going to be a rough fight. Whew, boy. Let's go for the lowest health one first. 22. So if it hits me twice, goes down to 18, then 3 strikes takes it out of the universe. Cool. I'm trying to set them up at different breakpoints so that they'll die eventually on their own. Bash isn't actually super effective here just because it doesn't apply the vulnerable. So, what's this? Incoming 24 damage. I've got 13 armor. So this will save me 11 HP. Worth doing. Bronze Scale's just going to deal all of the damage for this round. Don't mind if it does. Ooh, yeah. Not exactly the draw I was looking for there. At the very least, I still get to block most of the incoming damage. The problem is, the longer this fight goes on, the closer and closer you get to drawing hands that are just wounds and nothing else. The Pen Nib will make sure that this fight does edge on a little quicker. Now, I don't need to put another block on because the Metallicizer is already going to defend me. So I'm fine on that front. Thanks, Metallicize! Unfortunately, no one's getting infected when they hit me with the wounds. Alright. You can go for a strike here to prevent 8 damage. Yeah, probably a good idea as well. Then, double armor up, only take 3. I guess I'm holding off until I get a really aggressive hand so that I can try and fight one of these. This is probably defend Bash, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is working out a lot better than I thought it might. Yeah, there's the hand I thought I was going to get. What's my next hand? Yeah, 3 wounds. It's not getting better. 4 wounds. Uh-huh. Most of the rest of my deck is wounds now. If I can get 2 slashes in a single hand, I can kill. But of course, that one wasn't going to happen. This fight is so much better when you have an explosive potion, so you can deal 10 damage to each of them. It's just perfect. Beautiful. Thank you, Pen Nib. The extra damage done there. Yeah, no strikes left in my deck, so I've got one entirely dead hand draw. Oh no, I guess if I get the block in the first one and then pick up something from the shuffle. Beautiful. We actually had a playable card in each of those hands. Ugh. Well, this will kill at the very least. Thank you, Bronze Scale. Rough fight, but we did get the Courier. The Merchant no longer runs out of cards, relics, or potions. That's going to work in particular quite well with the Golden Idol, because we're going to have more gold. Ooh. I think I might take Bludgeon here. Just because I've taken damage out of my deck, so now when I get the ability to... When I get the ability to refine my deck, I'm just going to want blocks for a bunch of turns and then single big hits. That worked out really well. Got my second Metallicize. I think I want to go for a card removal service now and remove one of my strikes. Clash is never going to work in this deck. Good Instincts was another thing that I was considering though. We can go up this line in order to get all the way back up there. Yeah, okay. Is there any way that I get 2 campfires as well as a beastie? There is, yes. It's up this way, and then 2 campfires as well as a elite beastie. Good. Let's go. Yeah, I have to go for the relic. Ooh, Mummified Hand. Whenever you play a power, reduce the cost of a card in your hand to 0 for that turn. I don't think we have any powers so far, but it's a really good push in that direction. Never mind, of course we have powers so far. I forgot Metallicize exists. Alright, I'm gonna defend and strike so that when I Metallicize, it has a huge effect. Beautiful. Otherwise, it could have reduced the cost of my defend or strike, in which case I'm only saving 1 mana. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Ooh. See, Body Slam seems like it would work well in this build, but the thing is, all of our block comes at the end of our turn right now. So it's not actually block that I have during the turn that I can use with Body Slam or anything like that. So I think I'll take Seeing Red. Especially because I have expensive cards. Or at the very least, I have expensive card singular. Alright, we'll play Seeing Red, then defend, then we Metallicize. No, I should have bashed them Metallicize, but it worked out. Kill him. Okay. Yikes. I don't think any of these is strong enough to put into a build that's as pure as this build currently is. So I think that would just dilute my deck. It's also worth noting that I do have the Singing Bowl. Whenever I skip a card reward, increase my max HP by 2, so I can skip a lot of things and still feel pretty good about myself. I'm gonna upgrade the Bludgeon so that I can single hit a lot of creeps. I'm just gonna wait for a perfect opening hand here. We can bash, because that doesn't actually deal any HP damage against this enemy, so I don't wake them up. Then hopefully I get, yeah, like Metallicize and Bludgeon in my next hand. Problem is, if I Metallicize and don't hit Bludgeon, I can't risk it. I just need to go for that big hit right there. What was that, 60-something damage? Yeah, it's totally worth. Okay. Double Metallicize, especially when they chain off of one another. It's going to keep me fine here. Oh, if only we had the Pen Nib for that Bludgeon. Would have ruined him. Oh, yeah. Bye-bye. Worked out pretty well. I'm gonna go Seeing Red again. Gives us a little bit more mana cheat in the deck. Huh. Now I'll just play those. And then we're groovy, baby. Protect myself against all incoming damage and set up to kill the enemy that was buffing itself that round in the next round. Bludgeon goes there, and then strike on the back line because that enemy isn't attacking this round. Alright, we're good. Whew. It took me a while to figure out that, especially in opening rounds when you can't prevent any damage incoming, or rather, there isn't any damage incoming, or you wouldn't be able to kill the person who is going to deal the damage, those kinds of things. It took me a long time to realize that you want to start killing the one that is buffing itself rather than one that's about to deal damage, because if you're not going to stop that damage, why not stop the larger amount of damage that the buffing one would do in the next round? Anyhow, it's important to note that there has been a patch since the last episode, and that's that dual wield has been changed from create a copy of a card in your hand to create a copy of an attack or power card in your hand. The reason that's super annoying is because it means you can no longer copy Seeing Red, so you can no longer give yourself ridiculous mana out of that. Apparently it was too easy to make infinites using dual wield. Unfortunate, I know. Dual wield is actually still really good with Mummified Hand, and the reason for that is when you use Mummified Hand, like if I use Metallicize, and Bludgeon gets reduced to cost 0, then dual wielding Bludgeon will get me 2 bludgeons of cost 0. So I'm going to take dual wield regardless. And I'll probably actually just upgrade it right now. The next 2 cards I need to upgrade are both of my mana cheat cards, because they're currently, 1 mana less than they could be giving me. But I don't think that's going to be super important right here. Call it a hunch. So this upcoming turn, I want to get you as close to 70 health as I possibly can, which I can't do at all, so good work me. Ooh, pen nip. I could double bash. That's pretty good. The problem is, when I use Metallicize, I need to necessarily have the thing I want to reduce in cost and dual wield in my hand. So sometimes it'll just hit dual wield, and then I get a free dual wield, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. It worked. So here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. And that was just with a bash. It's unfortunate that the vulnerable effect does not get applied to the slimes after the split. Oh, it's a big hit. Okay. I might actually be able to kill here. Nope. Can definitely get the split going on, though. Whew. Okay, give me a bash. Really? I was certain I had to get a bash there. Oh, right. Strike was the only thing in my hand that actually could have been affected there. Makes sense. And we're done with the first floor. All right. What do I want? So here's the thing. If I am using Metallicize to kind of stall out safely, and if I have Seeing Red so I can play more expensive cards than I usually would, even though this is not a strength build, it means that Demon Form would work really well for us, especially considering we have Mummified Hand. We might be able to reduce the cost of Demon Form to 0. We might be able to play Demon Form to reduce the cost of something else to 0. And the fact that every single turn it is increasing our strength means it doesn't really matter if we have strength synergy cards. We'll still be reasonably okay. Upon pickup, choose and transform 3 cards. I could choose and transform my remaining 3 strikes. Runic Drone, gain a energy at the start of each turn. You can no longer see enemies intense. That seems just a little bit too camping for me. Seems a little intense. And Philosopher's Stone, all enemies start with 2 strength. That can be horrible. I don't have enough block or HP regeneration, especially, to deal with that, I believe. So I probably want to go Astrolabe and transform all of my strikes. Yep. Astrolabe, strike, strike, strike. And we get Clothesline, Sword Boomerang, and Heavy Blade. So Sword Boomerang and Heavy Blade both work really well with a strength build. And Clothesline is also a card. So it's nice to have 2 of the 3. Whew. Okay. Can break the hell out of my enemy's armor right now. In fact, I think I definitely should. There we go. And that's just to reduce the amount of plated armor that my enemy has there. They get to take significantly less. Ooh. Come on, work. Yeah! Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. 6 energy a turn. Don't mind if I do. 6 energy, 6 strength, rather. Okay, I'll metallicize. It's got to be a clothesline here. Still taking a hell of a lot of damage. At least I'll heal 6 of it up after the round. And Sword Boomerang for hilarity because we've got 12 strength. Seeing Wave. I'm probably too deep on that idea, but I'm so interested in it, I have to continue. Every time you play 3 skills in a single turn, deal 5 damage to all enemies. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain a dexterity. And every single time you apply vulnerable, also apply weak. Applying vulnerable, applying weak is really, really good if I can also get the Bag of Marbles relic. And that turns out relatively often. It's a common relic. The reason is because at the start of the game, it applies 1 vulnerable to everyone. So everyone would be 1 vulnerable and 1 weak just as soon as I load into any battle. Letter Opener isn't actually going to trigger that often because a lot of the things I do are powers. Like, I'm not actually playing blocks a lot of the time. So I think I'm going to take the champion belt. Seems good for me. Venturing through a series of tomes, I have decided to take that, because of course I was going to. There was no way I was going to go, a risk-reward scenario. I choose reward. Sorry, I choose reward. Yep, that's it. You know, risk-reward scenarios? What it actually means is, which of those do you want? Do you prefer a risk? Or are you a reward kind of person? This is going to be brutal to these enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Alright. Seeing red demon form. Yeah, it worked on bludgeon. Beautiful. And you're going to do a lot of damage to yourself. You're going to do them. Okay, cool. Take that one out of the world. I'm going to take a bit of damage here, but that was going to happen regardless there. Since I don't have a bunch of small attacks, I wasn't really afforded the opportunity to drop these from their current flight. Damn it, it reduced the cost of dual wield. That's exactly what I didn't want. That said, I can now just dual wield and sword boomerang the ever-loving hell out of them. Yep, that'll do it. Thank you, strength. More mana cheating? Probably not. Also probably not body slam. I think I actually ignore this card. Get myself some maximum HP instead. Okay, all of these have a similar payout until we get here, where this line has 2 rests as well as an elite. And then I can choose a shop afterwards if I want to, or I can skew off. And then I get another rest and a bunch of, yeah, question marks. Okay, we're going to the left. It looks immediately like the right was better there, but the left was definitely better. I am going to throw 2 poisons on the back line here, because I'm not going to get time to address that for a moment. Ow. Ow. Yeah, this powerful negative effect is something that I really need to stop from happening, that I'm definitely not going to be able to stop from happening. I've only just realized. Alright, I'm going to drink this regeneration potion. Hopefully this fight lasts for 5 more rounds, so that I can get the full effect out of that. Yeah, now I'm entangled. I think my next hand is all attacks, though, so that's going to suck. Entangled means I can't attack this round. Yeah. I'm going to dual wield Heavy Blade and end my go. So that just means I'm going to get a bunch more Heavy Blades left in my deck so that I can cast them later. So that's good, I guess. I really need some ways to handle my HP position. No, I should have saw red just so that I could get the armor for that turn. Yeah, that would be incorrect, especially considering it. Wow, I was about to say it's inconceivable that I don't kill this upcoming turn, but conceive of it, folk. Really thought I was going to draw one of my heavy never mind, my final hand is all Heavy Blades. Good. I guess. Whack 'em. Evolve is actually pretty good for me. It's going to give me a lot of card draw. Yeah. Shuffle 2 wounds into your draw pile. Whenever you draw a wound, gain 2 cards. It's also another power, so it's another way to trigger the Mummified Hand effect. I want to rest before I fight the boss. And then I can take the exact same path. Okay. So I want to rest before I fight the boss because now I'll have the effect of Ancient Tea Set going in to fight the boss. But on top of that, I'm going to have an upgraded card. Ugh, one of the worst ones I could be fighting right now. Yay. Alright. If this works on Metallicize, I'm set. Nope. It didn't hit him. Didn't hit the right card. Anyway, I wanted... Oh, wait, never mind. It works, because Metallicize will actually make the other things cost 0. Because of the Mummified Hand. Forgot about that. Well, good. I'm glad that worked. Because we're probably dead. Like, I need to play Demon Form sooner rather than later, because if I don't play it now-ish, it's just not going to be played, and I'll lose. Although it seems like, you know, I'm going to lose regardless. Yeah, my next hand is not defensive at all. That's really unfortunate, because that Slaver is about to entangle me. And then we're done. I really hoped this one was gonna work. I'm gonna get the Seeing Reds out of my deck. I think I might actually be safe this turn, which surprises me. Yeah, 5 health left. Whew! Gosh, I'm doing well. If I draw Dual Wield and... that's not going to do it. Would any of these? No, not really. Yeah, it would have had to be something weird like Dual Wield and Sword Boomerang and... play 3 sword boomerangs to just clear the field. The identity of that deck got a little muddled when it went from use Metallicize to keep yourself alive and play a bunch of block cards to use Metallicize to keep yourself alive and play a bunch of big hitting cards with a bunch of mana cheat. It got a little muddled, let's say. Thankfully, at the very least, it did get to the city, so I still will get another bonus here. I'm going to go with obtaining 100 gold at the very start. Means I could get a really early relic out of a really early shop. There's also actually a really nice line here so that I can get 2 question marks and then an elite. And then I can dip back in for another elite. Ooh. Ooh, baby. Hey, we got the perfect opener. Now, it's not the perfect opener because now my next hand is going to have 3 blocks, right? Oh, no. It is the perfect opener. Yay! Same as we did last time. Just going to take the 6 damage here because it's not going to matter. Bash him. Bash is also a really good card to upgrade early, but there are a lot of builds where you just don't want Bash. Like, you just don't want to have Bash in your deck as a card. So I kind of hold off on upgrading it, just in case. I've got to get my damage moving on here, otherwise Looter is going to run away with my money. So I think I'm actually just going to take the hit this round. The enemy has 2 choices next turn. It's do 12 damage or start blocking. Okay, cool. Because when the enemy starts blocking as their 3rd move, it becomes really difficult to prevent them from running away, which is why I wanted to set up in advance by using my bash and going all out aggressive. I could go Hemokinesis here. Dual Will doesn't even work on Havoc. Alright. Hemokinesis. Sure. Maybe we go with an HP loss build. Ready to transform a card. I have more attack than defense, so I'll transform a Strike into Reaper. Well now, doesn't that just put a feather in my cap? Ooh. I'd definitely take Lantern here. There's no other option. Like Double Tap, Feed, Exhume, they're all pretty good, but they're not Lantern. Setting the matchup right by getting off on the right foot is so powerful. So if I gave them a legendary card like Reaper, I actually get 10 extra maximum HP as well as a full heal. But at the moment, I don't really have things that I can afford to give away. So instead, I'm just going to give them one of my cheap cards, and they're going to go, meh. They're going to be sad about it, but they'll take it. And losing Hemokinesis there kind of sucks. The best effect there would have been draw and immediately use Bash. Obviously, that is exhausting the card that I use. So I would have lost Bash for the rest of the fight, but I would have had Hemokinesis, and Hemokinesis is going to be pretty important to deal out the big hits while Gremlin Knob is being a gremlin prick. Oh, if there was just a better way to say that. Another 21 damage, don't mind if I do. I'm not going to be using that because there is no card. I could gain 6 HP using Reaper. But I think I really need to set up to kill him next turn regardless of what I draw. Ouch. The fact that the enemy went for a Skull Bash, which was to make me vulnerable, and then immediately went super hard in 2 giant swings was really unfortunate right there. So the only theming this deck has so far is that it has one AO, like it has HP loss and HP gain, which is lovely, but it has Reaper, which has AoE, and also Reaper heals you for the damage it does. So if you increase your strength, Reaper does a lot more damage, it heals you for a lot more. What I'm saying is this is kind of eking towards a strength build, so I'm going to take a Twin Strike there. It hasn't got a huge theming yet, and I do just need to take a card at that point. But the strength theming is slightly more prevalent than any other theming so far. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get my block up for that. Not really too keen on taking 12 damage there. Yeah, probably Havoc. Good. Whee! And... oh boy. Well, I mean, Havoc is going to cost 0, and we've only got those defends in my deck. I could take a Clash. Clash is really good super early. That said, we have no mana cheat, and we have Bash and Reaper. Okay. And I'll upgrade Seeing Red as soon as I can. Fuck. An odd creature with a hunched back, sprouting several tentacles, is scrounging through a pile of trash and debris in front of you. As you approach, he shuffles towards you in a non-threatening manner. Noth hungry, feed Noth. I'm going to give them the lantern, but I'm sad about it. I wish I could have given them the prayer wheel. Triples the chance of receiving rare cards as monster rewards. I don't really care about that, to be honest. But I did want to show that thing happening, so... Reaper is really good here already. Play Havoc to try and thin out my deck a little. Cool, cool. Heal for 12. Don't mind if I do. Seeing Red definitely happens this round. Yeah, we'll just continue working on the sentry in the back line. We'll probably just survive this boss fight. Thankfully, since we have the Regal Pillow, resting is actually going to be real easy to do. Okay. Gonna get a ridiculous amount of HP out of it. That said, I hate that I have to rest pretty much ever, especially as the Ironclad. I should probably single strike and double defend. Not proud of it. Hemokinesis and Havoc. Alright, cool. At the very least, we will be able to use Havoc. Alright, maybe we don't make it out of this one. It really depends. If I get 2 strikes in my next hand and a defend, I am set for a little bit. 2 strikes and a defend. Hello? And now it's just whether or not this sentry goes all out aggressive. If it just continually attacks, I'm done. Nope, didn't attack. Beautiful. Alright, 3 attacks, 3 attacks, 3 attacks. What are the chances of me getting 3 strikes? Well, I've already got 1 in the pocket. So 1. And a twin strike. That'll do it. Just survived. For a pen nib? Reaper. This can work. Heal myself for 22. Don't mind if I 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22 hit points healthier. I'm feeling like I'm going to get another 16 soon. Who could have told such a... Ah, no, I was harmed. It didn't do its whole bugger. Especially with Pen Nib, actually. I might be able to set up a Pen Nib to be my Reaper turn. Heal extraordinarily off of that. Don't have the Havoc. Alright. I don't want to damage myself here, so instead I'm just going to block and I'm going to wait for the Acid Slime. Do nothing this turn. Oh no, you've weakened me. I'm going to have to use 2 cards to kill you. Evolve? Does Evolve have a negative effect on our Dark Archetype? Not really. Alright. Neutral's good enough for me. Not the one I wanted to draw. Oh well. Whoops! I really wanted that to be Bash. Alright. Seeing red. Let's go with Reaper and both defense. Reaper is never getting better in this fight, so I may as well exhaust it as soon as I can. I'm not going to have time to actually get benefit from Evolve. So I pretty much just need to draw all-out attack in the next turn. All-out attack would mean... Ooh. In fact, I've got 2 turns to do this all-out attack. I was thinking Strike, Strike, Hemokinesis, actually, but... I don't think I can do that. I think I have to go Reaper, Strike. Would inflict 15 damage. No, that's not enough. It's got to be that. Because next turn, I need to deal 8 damage and then probably just Firebomb. Thank heck. Okay, Blood Vial. A little bit more healing for me. Thank you. Immolate! Exhaust a card. If the chosen card with a status or curse deal 10 damage to all enemies. That's gonna work real well in my deck. Or I could take Rage. Way to give myself armor while I play a bunch of aggressive cards. Either of those two is fine. I don't have any curses in my deck. I do have status. Yeah, I do have status in my deck because the Evolve puts them in my deck. But then, why would I not want to keep them? One mana deal 10 damage to all enemies, though. Pretty good. Let's upgrade Evolve. Seeing red was supposed to be my upgrade, I know, but it wasn't. How quickly are we going through our deck here? Yeah, not quickly enough to pick up Rampage. We do have Draw in our deck already, courtesy of Evolve, so I can't take Battle Trance here. I would love to take Matryoshka or the Meat on the Bone card, but I can't really do that. So I'm going to take another Strike out of my deck. And an Energy Potion for the boss fight. I'm going to try and get away without healing before the boss fight. Because if I can get away with it, then I can set myself up with a reasonable run. But if this loses before that, then, you know, it wasn't really going anywhere anyway. Alright, we've got our pen nib set up. Almost certainly should have already put poison on. Okay, Reaper for 8 health. That worked out pretty well, actually. Actually gonna drink this, I'm gonna defend, and I'm gonna immolate just to exhaust one of those cards from my hand. Because defending is not gonna win me this fight. There go my wounds. I don't think my deck is degenerate enough. I've already lost my only mana cheat card. Yay! Oh, I should have burned the burn! Also should have done Havoc first. Honestly, none of this is gonna matter, because we are the deadest. If we had rested, we probably would have been able to make it through this fight, but our deck would have been less strong. And honestly, risk-reward. As I said earlier, I'm always on the risk it for the reward side of that. Especially in this game. Alright, bye-bye. We have died. Unfortunately, that's going to mean that we won't have a blessing going into our next Ironclad run. For the moment, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Next episode, we're going to be playing The Silent. Hopefully, you've been enjoying yourselves so far, and hopefully we will see you then, Jeanette.